Hello everyone, and welcome to the channel. Have you ever wondered what governments do when they run out of serious problems? Apparently, they write bizarre food laws. And when I say bizarre, I mean jaw-dropping, surreal, and sometimes laugh out loud, ridiculous. Today, we are counting down 50 of the dumbest food laws from around the world. And trust me, some of these will make you shake your head, and others will make you hungry. Law number 36 involves a food ban, so outrageous you will think someone lost a bet. Law number 43 takes us into the world of frozen desserts with rules that feel completely unbelievable. And law number 47 is so jaw-dropping, it might just make you spill your snack on the floor. For a taste of what's ahead, in one country, it is illegal to eat fried chicken with a fork. And in another, you can be arrested for eating peanuts in church. So, let's dig in. Number 1, Georgia, USA. No forks for fried chicken. In Gainesville, Georgia, there is a law that makes it illegal to eat fried chicken with a fork. The city actually calls itself the poultry capital of the world, and apparently, they take chicken etiquette very seriously. According to the ordinance, fried chicken must be eaten with your hands, no exceptions. Imagine a tourist nervously looking at their plate, holding a fork like it is a weapon of crime. The law started as a publicity stunt in 1961, but technically, it is still on the books. The absurd part is that, yes, there have been mock arrests of people caught using cutlery. So, if you ever visit Gainesville, keep your hands greasy or risk becoming part of fried chicken history. Number 2, Alabama, USA. Ice cream cone in back pocket. In Alabama, it is against the law to put an ice cream cone in your back pocket. You might ask, who on earth would do that? Well, back in the day, this was a sneaky way to steal horses. People would lure a horse away with the smell of ice cream instead of physically taking it. So technically, they avoided being charged with theft. The image is priceless. A cowboy casually strolling around with vanilla dripping down his pants while a horse trots after him. Today, the law sounds absurd, but it remains as one of those quirky leftovers from the 19th century. Number 3, Singapore. No chewing gum. Singapore is famous for being clean and strict. But did you know that chewing gum is almost completely banned? Since 1992, importing and selling gum has been illegal except for medical or dental purposes. The government wanted to stop people from sticking gum on trains, under chairs, and in locks. Picture someone being treated like a criminal, not for robbery or vandalism, but for bubble blowing. Tourists have actually had gum confiscated at the airport. Imagine trying to explain to customs, it's just peppermint gum, I swear. Number 4, France. Limit on ketchup in schools. In 2011, France restricted ketchup in school cafeterias. The rule says it can only be served with French fries, and even then, only once a week. The reason? Protecting French cuisine and preventing children from drowning traditional meals in ketchup. Now, imagine a child begging for ketchup while holding a plate of fish, only to be told, sorry, that's not culturally appropriate. It is both funny and a little heartbreaking. French pride runs deep, apparently even deeper than the ketchup bottle. Number 5, Canada. Illegal to serve margarine with color. For decades, in Quebec, Canada, it was illegal to sell margarine that looked like butter. Companies had to make it white so people would not confuse it with the real thing. Imagine spreading ghostly white margarine on your toast every morning. The law was only repealed in 2008. Until then, Canadians lived in a world where butter impersonation was a serious crime. Number 6, Italy. No spaghetti on sidewalks. In Falciano del Masico, Italy, there was once a rule forbidding people from eating spaghetti outdoors on the sidewalk. The idea was to keep the streets clean, but it sounds ridiculous. Picture a tourist twirling pasta outside a cafe, only to be fined for public noodling somewhere. An officer had to actually write that ticket with a straight face. Number 7, Denmark. Naming laws for baby food. Denmark has strict baby naming laws, and, oddly, some of them tie into food. Parents are not allowed to name their children after certain foods, so you cannot legally name your child plum, pepper, or apple. It is not exactly about eating, but it is food-related. Imagine poor little Apple sitting in school while the teacher explains, "Sorry, the government says you don't exist." Number 8, England. No handling salmon suspiciously. In England, the Salmon Act of 1986 makes it illegal to handle salmon in suspicious circumstances. It was meant to prevent poaching, but the wording is so vague that it became a joke. Imagine a man in a trench coat whispering, "PST, want to buy some salmon?" Or someone carrying a fish like it is a secret spy mission. You could technically break the law just by looking too sneaky with your salmon. Number 9, Wisconsin, USA. Butter must be real. Wisconsin takes dairy very seriously. It is actually illegal to serve margarine instead of butter in restaurants, unless customers specifically ask. The dairy industry fought hard to keep margarine out, and the law still stands. Imagine a diner getting raided, not for drugs or smuggling, but for the crime of fake butter? In Wisconsin, butter is practically a religion. Number 10, Japan. Fugu restrictions. Japan has one of the strangest food safety laws. Only licensed chefs can prepare fugu, the poisonous pufferfish. Eating it without training can literally kill you. The funny part is, the idea of someone casually trying to prepare it at home, like, how hard can sushi be? The law exists for a good reason, but the thought of a government test that asks, "Please demonstrate cutting deadly fish," is pretty surreal. Number 11, Scotland. No haggis imports. For more than 40 years, the United States banned the import of haggis, the famous Scottish dish made from sheep organs. The rule was based on food safety regulations against lungs in food. Imagine a Scottish expat crying over his suitcase at customs, explaining, "It's just sheep lungs, nothing dangerous." It sounds absurd, but haggis was treated like contraband for decades. Number 12, New Jersey, USA. No slurping soup. In New Jersey, it is technically illegal to slurp soup in public places. The law was written in the 19th century to enforce manners. Imagine a policeman walking over and saying, "Sir, put down the spoon. You're under arrest for excessive slurping." Today it sounds like a comedy sketch, but back then it was real etiquette law. Number 13, Germany. Beer purity law. Germany has the Reinheitsgebot, or beer purity law, dating back to 1516. It said beer could only be made with barley, hops, and water. Yeast was added later. The funny part is that this law was so strict that creative brewers had to sneak around it. Imagine being arrested because your beer had orange peel in it. While it kept beer simple, it also turned German brewing into a legal battlefield. Number 14, India. Ban on beef in some states. In several Indian states, eating beef is illegal because cows are considered sacred. Violators can face fines or even jail time. The absurdity comes when tourists do not realize it. Imagine ordering a beef burger and ending up with police at your table. For locals, it is normal, but for outsiders, it feels surreal. Number 15, Australia. Potatoes. In Western Australia, there used to be a law limiting how many potatoes a person could own at one time. The Potato Marketing Corporation enforced it, and inspectors could stop cars suspected of carrying too many. Picture a farmer being pulled over and an officer asking, "Sir, do you know how many potatoes are in your trunk?" The potato police were very real, and the law stayed until 2016. Number 16, California, USA. No whistling for lost canaries during meals. In Berkeley, California, an old ordinance said you could not whistle for your lost canary while eating a meal at a restaurant. Why? Nobody knows. Maybe the city council just really hated birds interrupting dinner. Imagine sitting in a diner, fries in one hand, and suddenly someone bursts into a dramatic whistle solo for their missing parrot. You would get fined. Number 17, Thailand. Do not step on rice. In Thailand, stepping on rice grains is considered both disrespectful and technically illegal in some areas. Rice is sacred, tied to cultural and religious traditions. Picture a clumsy tourist spilling rice and then accidentally stepping on it, only to face horrified locals. It is funny, but it shows how food can be law, culture, and religion all in one bowl. Number 18, Oklahoma, USA. No biting off another person's burger. Yes, Oklahoma once had a law against taking a bite from someone else's hamburger. Imagine two college friends at a diner. One leans over, takes a cheeky bite, and suddenly they are both criminals. Sharing food is friendship everywhere else in Oklahoma. It could land you in trouble. Number 19, North Korea. Only government-approved haircuts and kimchi rules. Kimchi is such a part of Korean life that the government sets strict rules for how it must be prepared. In North Korea, selling kimchi without approval can get you in serious trouble. The idea of a kimchi inspector knocking on doors feels absurd. But in a country where even haircuts are regulated, cabbage is not safe either. Number 20, Iceland. No raw horse meat imports. Icelanders love their local food, but importing raw horse meat is banned. Imagine airport customs opening a suitcase and finding a neatly wrapped T-bone, except it is from a horse. The officer has to keep a straight face while confiscating someone's pony steak. Number 21, Arkansas, USA. Must pronounce Arkansas correctly when ordering food. Believe it or not, a law in Arkansas states the name must be pronounced Arkansas. Mispronounce it as Arkansas, and technically, you are breaking the law. Now imagine a tourist at a diner ordering pie with the wrong pronunciation. And the server whispers, "That will be apple pie and a misdemeanor charge, sir." Number 22, Sweden. Surströmming ban on airlines. Surströmming, the famously stinky fermented fish, is banned on many Swedish flights because cans can explode mid-air. Picture an overhead compartment, opening and releasing a cloud of fishy doom on passengers. Suddenly, turbulence is not the worst part of the flight. Number 23, Kentucky, USA. No ice cream on Sundays in a pocket. Yes, Kentucky also had a no ice cream cone in your pocket law, especially on Sundays. It tied back to horse theft again, but Sundays made it holier. Imagine police waiting outside a church to check who has a vanilla cone in their jeans. Number 24, China. Mooncake smuggling. Mooncakes are so popular during festivals in China that smuggling them across borders has become an actual crime. Picture someone at the airport nervously guarding a box of pastries as if it were gold bars. Customs officers open it and sigh, another mooncake runner. Number 25, Vermont, USA. No ban on maple syrup. Vermont passed a law making it illegal to ban maple syrup. Yes, you heard that right. It was a way to protect their maple pride. Imagine a future dystopia where syrup is outlawed and rebels smuggle sticky bottles and trench coats. Vermont made sure that day never comes. Number 26, Italy. Naples pizza rules. Naples takes pizza so seriously that in 2009 they created laws defining what counts as authentic pizza. You can only use specific ingredients and methods. Imagine a tourist adding pineapple and suddenly getting tackled by the pizza police. The law is strict, but it proves Italians guard pizza like treasure. Number 27, Louisiana, USA. Crawfish size law. In Louisiana, there are official regulations about the size of crawfish you can sell. Too small, and it is illegal. Now imagine a fisherman being pulled over and questioned. "Sir, do you know how tiny these crawfish are?" It feels like a seafood version of speeding tickets. Number 28, Iran. Ban on Western fast food. Iran once banned certain Western fast food chains, claiming they spread cultural corruption. The funny part is, locals still opened copycat versions. Imagine a place called Mashdonald's with golden arches, slightly tilted. Technically legal, but everyone knows what is going on. Number 29, Switzerland. no absinthe until 2005. Switzerland banned absinthe, the strong herbal drink, for nearly a century. They believed it caused madness. Imagine smugglers hiding bottles like contraband whiskey, whispering, "Careful, this stuff makes you see green fairies." When the ban lifted in 2005, it turned out to be mostly overblown fear. Number 30, South Carolina, USA, must serve sweet tea at all times. In some towns in South Carolina, restaurants are expected to always have sweet tea available. Picture a restaurant running out and customers rioting in the streets chanting, "We want tea." It sounds ridiculous, but sweet tea is basically a legal beverage requirement in the South. Number 31, Mexico. Tamale street vendor rules. In Mexico City, street vendors selling tamales must shout specific phrases to attract customers. If they do not, they can get fined. Imagine a vendor whispering tamales quietly and getting dragged off for breaking the shouting law. The rule is odd, but it keeps tradition alive. Number 32, Russia. No beer before 2011, technically. Until 2011, beer in Russia was not legally considered alcohol. It was treated like soda, so people could drink it anywhere. Then lawmakers finally declared, wait, this is actually alcohol. Imagine a family picnic where kids sip Coke and dad cracks open a beer. Legally, the same thing. Number 33, Mississippi, USA. No polygamy with food portions. In some Mississippi restaurants, there were once laws against serving unreasonable portions. It was to stop waste, but imagine ordering a giant burger the size of a steering wheel and the chef saying, "Sorry, sir, that's a legal excess." Number 34, Greece. No eating at famous archaeological sites. In Greece, you cannot eat food at historic sites like the Acropolis. It makes sense for preservation, but the wording makes it sound like you could be arrested for nibbling a granola bar. Imagine being hauled away by guards while still chewing. Number 35, Massachusetts, USA. No clam chowder on Sundays without clams. Massachusetts once had a law requiring that clam chowder must actually contain clams, especially on Sundays. The law seems obvious, but imagine a cook trying to pass off potato soup as clam chowder and ending up in legal trouble. Chowder is sacred in New England, and they made sure nobody messed with it. Number 36, New Zealand. No freshly baked bread after hours. In New Zealand, bakeries once had a law that banned selling freshly baked bread outside official bakery hours. The idea was to protect bakers from unfair competition. But imagine craving warm bread at night and being told, "Sorry, it's illegal to be that delicious right now." Number 37, California, USA. No eating oranges in the bathtub. In California, there is an old law that makes it illegal to eat an orange while bathing. No one knows why, but picture someone trying to relax in the tub with a juicy orange, only to have the police knock on the door. Maybe lawmakers just hated citrus-scented bubble baths. Number 38, Japan. Whale meat, school lunches. For decades, whale meat was legally required to be served in many Japanese school lunches. Imagine kids trading whale meat sandwiches the way others trade cookies. It sounds unbelievable today, but it was once the law of the land. Number 39, Nebraska, USA. No bars selling beer without soup. In Nebraska, taverns could not sell beer unless they also had soup on the menu. Picture a thirsty customer walking in, demanding a pint, and the bartender saying, "Only if you also want tomato soup." Apparently, lawmakers thought beer needed a chaperone. Number 40, South Korea, kimchi refrigerators. South Korea has specific energy laws for kimchi refrigerators. Yes, entire fridges just for kimchi. The image of a government inspector checking your cabbage fridge with a clipboard is priceless. Only in Korea would fermented vegetables deserve their own appliance regulations. Number 41, Florida, USA. No selling ice cream after 6 p.m. without license. In some Florida towns, street vendors needed a special evening license to sell ice cream after 6 o'clock. Imagine kids chasing the ice cream truck at 6:01 p.m., only to be told, sorry, officer says no sprinkles after dark. Number 42, Bhutan. Ban on junk food in schools. Bhutan banned junk food in schools to protect children's diets. It makes sense health-wise, but imagine a kid smuggling chips in, like contraband. Teachers had to be food detectives, confiscating candy as if it were dangerous weapons. Number 43, Canada. Ice cream truck music ban. In some Canadian towns, ice cream trucks are banned from playing music. Imagine the most depressing ice cream truck ever, silently creeping down the street. No jingles, no joy. Just awkward eye contact with the driver as you buy your cone. Number 44, Italy. Cappuccino, only before noon. In Italy, ordering a cappuccino after noon is seen as a food crime, and in some places, cafes will actually refuse. Imagine a tourist asking for one at 3 p.m., and the barista gasping like they just confessed to murder. Italy takes coffee timing very seriously. Number 45, Minnesota, USA. Butter sculptures at the state fair. Minnesota requires butter sculptures of beauty queens at the state fair. It is not illegal to skip it, but it is practically mandated by tradition. Imagine being crowned queen and then watching an artist carve your face in a 90-pound block of butter. Number 46, India. Tomato festival restrictions. After Spain's La Tomatina festival became famous, Indian towns tried to copy it. But many local governments banned tomato-throwing festivals because it was considered food wastage. Imagine officials standing by shouting, "Eat those tomatoes! Don't throw them!" The law sounds funny, but it shows how food fights can turn political. Number 47, France. Baguette weight standards. France has strict laws on how baguettes must be baked. Even their weight is regulated. Picture a baker being fined because his baguette is 5 grams too light. Only in France could bread measurement be a matter of national importance. Number 48, USA. No pickles without crunch in Connecticut. In Connecticut, a pickle legally had to bounce to be considered a true pickle. Officials once dropped pickles to test them. Imagine government employees standing in a kitchen, tossing pickles at the floor to see if they qualified as food. Number 49, Japan. Melon auctions. Japan has rules around luxury fruit auctions, where melons can sell for thousands of dollars. Imagine police protecting a pair of cantaloupes like they were priceless jewels. It sounds absurd, but in Japan, fruit can be more valuable than gold. Number 50, England. Mince pie ban by Oliver Cromwell. In the 1600s, Oliver Cromwell banned mince pies on Christmas because he thought they were too indulgent. Imagine Christmas morning without pies and soldiers raiding kitchens looking for illegal pastry. Thankfully, that law was scrapped, otherwise holidays would taste much worse. And there you have it, 50 of the dumbest food laws from around the world. From illegal forks with fried chicken to pickles that have to bounce, we have seen just how strange the rules around eating can be. The funny part is, many of these laws still technically exist. So if you ever travel abroad, be careful. Your snack might be breaking international law. Maybe next time we discuss 50 peculiar laws about sports. Or, perhaps in a future episode, we uncover 50 outrageous rules about animals. Or maybe we dive into 50 jaw-dropping laws about technology. Until then, like, subscribe, and tell me in the comments which of these food laws shocked you the most. Was it the bouncing pickle, the midnight bread ban, or the ice cream truck with no music? Thanks for watching, and stay hungry for more.